Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going deep on a component you have absolutely seen, but maybe, just maybe, never really noticed. It's the humble optocoupler. It is tiny, it is on pretty much every circuit board, and you're about to see just how powerful it really is. Yeah, this little guy. If you've ever cracked open a power supply or looked inside a motor controller, you have definitely seen one of these. At a glance, it just looks like any other chip, right? But what it does is totally unique, and honestly, it's absolutely critical. So why is it everywhere? Well, that's what we're here to find out. So, first up, let's talk about why I'm calling this thing an unsung hero. We're going to look at where it's used and the really important jobs it's doing behind the scenes. Okay, so you see it's used for flipping on relays, firing up motors and lamps, but look closer at those last few points. Separating high voltage and low voltage sections, protecting sensitive stuff, ensuring user safety. You see the pattern, right? The single most important theme here is separation and protection. This one little component is the thing that keeps the dangerous high voltage side of a circuit from ever touching the low voltage side that you or your sensitive microchips might interact with. It's all about creating a safe gap. So how on earth does this tiny chip create that gap, but still let a signal get from one side to the other? Well, the secret, the magic, is right there in the name, opto. It uses light. Okay, so here's the textbook definition, but what does that really mean? You can think of an optocoupler as a kind of digital messenger. It takes an electrical signal on one side, turns it into a little flash of light, sends that light across a gap, and then the other side sees the light and turns it back into an electrical signal. The key is there is zero, and I mean zero, physical connection between the two. And if we could look inside that little black box, this is what we'd see. Two totally separate parts. On the input side, you've just got a plain old LED. You give it some juice, it lights up. Simple. On the output side, you've got a phototransistor. Now, think of this as a special kind of switch, but instead of flipping it with your finger, you flip it with, you guessed it, light. They're sitting there, staring at each other inside the chip, but they never ever touch. You know, I love this analogy. It is the perfect way to think about it. The light is the message in the bottle. The physical gap inside the chip, that's the river. The information gets across just fine, but the two riverbanks, our two separate circuits, stay completely and safely isolated from each other. All right, so that's the theory. It's a great story, but can we actually prove it? Can we show that this little chip is really being controlled by light? To do that, we actually took an optocoupler and, well, we carefully scraped off its black plastic case. So let's see what happens. So the setup for our experiment is super simple. We're just going to connect a multimeter to the output pins of that phototransistor. All we want to do is measure its resistance and see how it changes when we shine a light on it. And whoa, check out these results. In complete darkness, the resistance is insane, about 1.5 million ohms. That means basically no electricity can flow. It's an open switch. But then, when we point a regular old TV remote at it, which uses infrared light, look at that drop. The resistance plummets to 600,000 ohms. That is wild. We literally just controlled a circuit component with a TV remote. But this brings us to our next little problem. We've proven that we can send a signal with light, which is awesome. But as it turns out, the signal we're getting out on the other side is, well, it's a bit pathetic, to be honest. Let's really focus on this number for a second. 600,000 ohms. I mean, yeah, it's a huge drop from 1.5 million, but in the grand scheme of electronics, that is still an incredibly high resistance. And here's the punchline. With that much resistance, the amount of electrical current that can actually squeeze its way through is minuscule. We're talking a tiny, tiny trickle. It is nowhere near powerful enough to do anything useful for us, like turn on a motor or even light up one little LED. So we've got a signal, but right now, it needs a serious boost. So what's the fix? Well, we build an amplifier. We're going to take that tiny whisper of a signal coming from our optocoupler, and we're going to use another classic component to turn it into a loud shout. And the hero of this part of the story is going to be a PNP transistor. You can think of a transistor as a tiny electronic valve or a switch. What we're going to do is use the very small current from the optocoupler to open this valve and let a much, much bigger current flow through it. Okay, so here's how we build the circuit step by step. First, we give our transistor some power, connecting it to a 12-volt source. Easy enough. Second, we connect our load. That's the thing we actually want to control, in this case, our LED. Now, step 3. This is the clever bit. We use a resistor to gently hold the transistor's trigger pin, its base, in the off position by default. Then finally, in step 4, we connect our optocoupler. When that light hits it, the optocoupler sends out its tiny signal, which is just strong enough to overpower that off signal, flipping the transistor's switch to on and letting the main power rush through to our LED. So the theory seems solid, and the circuit is all wired up. The only thing left to do is power it on and see if our little signal booster actually works in the real world. Let's do it. All right, here we go, the moment of truth. The circuit has 12 volts running to it. Our little naked optocoupler is just sitting there, waiting for a signal. I've got the remote control right here in my hand. Let's press a button and see what happens. And there it is. It works. It works perfectly. The infrared light from the remote hits the phototransistor, the resistance drops, that tiny signal flows into our amplifier circuit, it flips the PNP transistor on, and that allows the much bigger current to flow and light up our LED. We did it! We've just successfully controlled a circuit using nothing but a beam of light. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, we've seen firsthand that optocouplers use light to create total electrical isolation, which is just fundamental for safety in modern electronics. We proved they react to infrared light, but that their raw signal is pretty weak. And, maybe most importantly, we learned that with just one other simple component, a transistor, we can boost that signal and make it strong enough to do some real work. And that's really the secret of this unsung hero component. It's such a simple, elegant, and safe way to pass signals between circuits that just can't touch. So that leaves just one final question. Now that you know how to control things with a beam of light, what are you gonna build?